Welcome to episode 25 of the Soulful Menopause podcast. Today I want to talk briefly on the gift of empowerment and why it's so important as you transition through menopause. Welcome to the Soulful Menopause podcast. Discover how to transform the chaos of menopause into vibrant health and a soulful life you'll love. I'm Sally Love, natural nutritionist and soul wisdom coach. I want you to experience a soulful menopause that'll guide you into the best years of your life. Welcome, Fire Moon Goddess. How are you? I'm excited to share something with you today that I've been working on for a little while. Recently, I had an amazing experience where I couldn't sleep one night and I just intuitively knew that I had to go and sit in my office. So as soon as I did that, as soon as I sat down, I grabbed a pen and paper and I started channeling some incredible information. And this just went on and on and on all the way through until 4 o'clock in the morning. And I just couldn't stop writing and drawing, that whole time it was just flowing. It really was wonderful. And what emerged from that is what I now call the soulful menopause path. Now, there is a diagram to show you exactly how the soulful menopause path is laid out. Unfortunately, obviously, I can't show you that because this is a podcast, but I will be producing a video on it in the not too distant future. And if you actually receive emails from me, you'll get this much sooner. In fact, you'll probably get it this week if you do. Now, it's a specialized technique and it encompasses all of the different ways I work. Over, oh my word, I don't even want to think of how many years. Many years, okay? That's all we'll say. This is a path that you can follow, which will guide you through the chaos of menopause so that you can achieve vibrant health, fulfillment, and a beautiful, soulful life. Now, there are 4 spheres that connect to one another, and these actually form a diamond shape. And within that diamond, in the center of this diamond, is the gift of empowerment. And the 4 spheres that surround the gift of empowerment represent the jewel of awakening, the heartstone, the diamond of clarity, and the crystal of fulfillment. Now, each of these spheres also represents a different level of our being: physical, emotional, mental, and spiritual. So today I want to talk just very briefly on the gift of empowerment and why it's really important. Why is this so important as you move through menopause? And I thought a good place to start would be with an analogy that I use quite a lot. I mean, if you've been following me for a little while, you will have heard me use this before. And that's the jewels of wisdom that we can gather once we reach menopause. So I'll just briefly explain this to you again. I see life as a journey where with every major experience we've gone through, we sort of like gather a rock for each one of those experiences and put them in our backpack. So you're walking down the pathway of your life and you have this big experience, or it may even be a little experience but packs a punch, really gives you a life lesson in there or rocks your boat in some way. So that's sort of like the symbolism of that is you're walking along, you have that experience, you pick up a rock that symbolizes that and you put it in your backpack. And off you go down your pathway of your life, and then you have another major experience and you pick up another rock to symbolize that and you put it in your backpack. Well, of course, by the time we start reaching perimenopause, our backpacks are pretty heavy. We have loads of major experiences and we've got them sitting in our backpack, okay? So what I love to teach women to do is just to imagine that when you reach perimenopause, you're reaching a crossroads in your life. It's time, instead of rushing down the next pathway, just to take a breather, take that heavy rucksack off your back, sit down, take a breath, and use this time to recenter. And I suggest it's like a process of going through your rucksack, reaching into your rucksack, pulling out a rock, and then going, okay, rock, so you were this experience. And you look at all the people and the experiences you had with it, the story, the drama, all the beliefs that you formed as a result of that. And you crack that rock open. And deep inside the rock, you find this beautiful jewel. And that's your jewel of wisdom. And then you reach into your backpack, you get another rock out, you crack it open, and you find your jewel of wisdom in that. And you keep going until your rucksack is empty. And then you get to a point where you're holding this beautiful handful or even a bag full of glistening jewels of wisdom that you've gathered from all of these life experiences. You can leave those heavy broken rocks on the side of the road, and then you can use these jewels of wisdom to guide you onto a new path of life. So you're leaving behind those heavy rocks. You're leaving behind all of those heavy experiences that weighed you down in the past. And now you're just taking these beautiful, glistening jewels with you. So the 4 spheres that form the diamond of the soulful menopause path provide you with the jewel of awakening, the heartstone, the diamond of clarity, and the crystal of fulfillment. And all of these lead to the gift of empowerment. And they all actually fuel your empowerment as well. So the soulful menopause path is a specialized technique that supports you and empowers you as you transition through this really powerful rite of passage you find yourself in right now. Menopause is this big turning point in our lives. It can be. And we have the opportunity to take stock of how we've got to where we are now and then make an empowered move towards a new way of being, a dream of how we would like to live. But of course, it's really got to come from that empowered place of stability, of your truth, of your love for yourself. And the thing is, when we reach menopause, it throws us into chaos. So it's very difficult to find that center when we're in a time of chaos. Our hormones are fluctuating, they're drastically changing. And because hormones affect so many different aspects of your life, it causes chaos on all of those levels, physically, emotionally, mentally, and spiritually. For example, physically, you could probably experience hot flashes, you could gain weight, you could have aches and pains and headaches and all sorts of other things. Emotionally, you can experience mood swings, you can feel depressed, you can feel lots of fear and anxiety coming up, and all of that can make you feel terribly unmotivated. On a mental level, you can experience brain fog and memory issues. Perhaps you're just getting so caught up in your head because of all of the chaos, you just don't know which way to look. You just can't seem to figure out what on earth it is that you want in life. And on a spiritual level, this is more about, during menopause, this feeling of the ground moving beneath you, shifting beneath you. So you get that sense of having a less secure footing in life. You can feel vulnerable. You can lose a connection to your soul's purpose, or maybe you're even questioning your soul's purpose right now, or maybe you're actually listening to this and wondering what on earth your soul's purpose is now. Yeah. So chaos can really throw us off center, but it can actually be very, very positive if we're coming from it from a place of empowerment. So the chaos stirs things up. It actually gets you to look at things in your life that you may have been suppressing or unaware of. You know, I always talk about it really sort of being like clearing a pond. You know, you've got to get that crap up from the bottom, and it's going to make it all murky for a while. You're not going to be able to see what's in there. But this is part of the process of clearing the pond. Afterwards, when you've got all that crap up from the bottom, you're going to have a nice crystal clear pond again. So chaos and that murkiness is what can guide you towards a new cycle in your life where you actually get to transform who you are, what you do in life, how you show up in life. So of course, you know, if you try to suppress it, if you try to suppress this chaos, because unless you're empowered, it can be a really horrible place to be, then you're actually running the risk of dampening down your beautiful fire of transformation that's burning within you and wanting to really get you to listen to your soul and guide you to a pathway that's really beautifully aligned with you, beautifully aligned to your soul. But obviously the thing that we want to do is make sure that chaos doesn't completely knock you off your feet, you know, so you can't do life well, you know. Well, basically, you don't want it to rock the boat so much that you capsize, yeah? Or maybe you don't want it to be so chaotic and crazy that you end up turning into some scary monster woman, you know, with all your hormones raging and the fire coming up within you so much that you turn into this like, we don't want that either, do we? So what we're looking for is finding a beautiful balance, a place of empowerment so that you can witness what's coming up for you, but not be carried away by it, not be derailed by it. And this is what I call the gift of empowerment. You know, the gift of empowerment is in the center of the soulful menopause path, because without empowerment, you obviously feel disempowered. And if you're disempowered, then it may well be that you're feeling a bit of victim stuff coming up for you. You know, maybe you're seeing life through this perspective, wondering why these things keep happening to you, you know, and it just keeps drawing more and more of those same challenging feelings and experiences to you. And then without knowing it, you find yourself getting dragged down into a bit of a vicious cycle that you just can't seem to crawl your way out of. So the number one thing to focus on achieving before anything else, before thinking about which way you're going to move from here, what you're going to do next, what's right for you, what's your soul saying, that's all. The first thing to do is to start really tuning in to the gift of empowerment. Because once you're empowered, then you're in a really beautiful place to create, to shape your life the way that you want it to be. And I created a symbol for the gift of empowerment. And the symbol of that is a healthy tree. So the healthy tree is right in the center of this beautiful diamond. The tree has these deep roots, rooted deep, deep into the earth, so that when a strong wind comes along, the tree can bend and sway with the wind. Even a gale can come along and it can get buffeted around all over the place, but its roots are holding it firmly in place. And I think that this is a really, really beautiful symbol to keep in our minds, to keep in our hearts, to help us when we do get caught up in all of that chaos. This is one of the beautiful symbols that came to me in this, download of information I got that night. It's a beautiful place of strength and balance, because when you can objectively look at what's showing up in your life, when you can be present with the chaos of menopause and not get carried away with it, you can stand firm and strong. You can be firmly rooted amongst the chaos. And when that happens, you actually get to see the bigger picture. Okay, so you're not being derailed by all the chaotic emotions and the chaos going on in your physical body and whatever else is showing up for you in your life. There may be relationship issues coming up and career issues coming up and the sense of fulfillment and not feeling fulfilled and what do you want to do next. And wow, this can, all of that coming up at the same time. It can be overpowering, but if you've got those roots strongly, firmly grounded into the earth, then that's where you can, objectively look at what's showing up and not get carried away by it. So it's absolutely vital to have this gift of empowerment during menopause. It really does keep you sane, probably literally. It's what enables you to transition through this powerful time. A time when you can actually honor yourself and honor the messages from your soul. And then when you're in this beautiful place of empowerment, you can take appropriate action in your life from that place of empowerment, not from a victim mode. Because if you're in a victim mode, feeling like as if everything is happening to you, you feel powerless, you don't see things clearly, and you'll make decisions based on fear and anger and resentment and judgment and jealousy or whatever is showing up for you. And so getting into that beautiful place of empowerment, being that solid, healthy tree, beautifully rooted into the earth, you realize that you are the power source of your life. You are the power source of your life. You get to make decisions from a place of love for yourself. You get to make decisions from a place of respect for yourself and respect for others, and a place of joy and possibilities, even if you're in the unknown. Even if the moment your life is so up in the air, you have no idea where you're going to be next, what you're going to be doing next, what's going to be happening. And without going into details, this is exactly where I am right now, But when you create that sense of power and grounding, you have that beautiful sense of trust that comes in. Trust in your own strength, trust in your own soul, and you can just let things unravel. So yes, you may feel grief and sadness and frustration and anger and a lack of fulfillment that you're desperately wanting to try and find in your life in some way. But you can witness these things and you can let them flow through you. You don't have to get carried away with them. Okay? So that's a little introduction to the gift of empowerment. So one thing I want to let you know about is that from Friday the 13th of March to Monday the 16th of March this year, 2020, I'm running a residential retreat in Devon in the UK. And this retreat is called The Heart of You. And this is because we are going to be going to the heart of you. You're going to be walking this soulful menopause path with me. So you'll find out about all of the spheres, how these all work with you to empower you. We're going to really do a lot of work on empowerment. We're going to learn how to cook healthy hormone balancing recipes. We're going to deepen your heart-to-heart connection with Mother Nature. You're going to meet your menopause spirit guides. You're going to take part in a beautiful, powerful ritual to basically release any old energy that's holding you back. You're going to learn how to develop your intuition and listen to your soul's wisdom so that you can move forward in life to a new pathway that's deeply, deeply and beautifully aligned with your soul's purpose. There's so much more included, as well as one-to-one consultations with me and a beautiful group session a month after the retreat where we'll all get together. There's so much there. So there's actually just one place left as I'm recording this. So if you are interested in attending the Heart of You retreat, in Devon, in the UK, Friday the 13th of March to Monday the 16th of March, then please just jump on my website, soulfulmenopause.com. If you scroll down on the home page, you'll see some information there, which will give you a link to the page where all the information is there for you. Or, of course, you can just hop up to the main menu and click the Work With Me, and you'll find a link on there as well. You'll find all the full details. If you've got any questions, please do get in touch with me. But like I said, there is only one place left on that retreat. And it would be so wonderful if you could come and join us. I think we're going to have so much fun, and it's going to be it's going to be profound, actually. There's going to be a lot of transformation during this retreat. I'm very excited by it. To find out more about how you can live a soulful menopause, please visit soulfulmenopause.com. I'm really looking forward to being with you again soon. Bye for now.